I grew up watching translated Disney. In translated Disney, the Hannah Montana show had an Indian theme song. So we never really heard Miley Cyrus singing, we just saw her groove to the backdrop of our ironical translation of Best of Both Worlds without knowing another version even existed. And the High School Musical movie was like a social experiment in knowing all the tunes without knowing any of the original lyrics. And when they aired Harry Potter movies, they'd go a step ahead and change names of characters, like Moaning Myrtle became Mayus Meena. And I did not know then that identities could be lost in translation, but the first time I saw Lizzie McGuire in English, lip sync perfect, like the taste of cheese on cherry wine tongue, I felt like I had known a different character all along. Maybe that's how you'd feel if I shed foreign syllables from my mouth like spaghetti and slip into the nightgown of my mother tongue today. My mother does not understand English. And frankly, there is no other language I am competent enough to write poetry in. At McDonald's, her mind is a probable Kim Possible, secretly asking me to place her order because she won't fumble with extra large if she never talks, right? My mother is not mother but Phineas and Ferb of our house, the genius of two, in one woman alone, the smartest woman I know, until she is put through translation. Then she is every Facebook comment put through my literary council before being posted online. Her longest comment till now is God bless you. She knows this phrase. She also knows the English names for all my achievements because haven't they always come from proving I know my second language better than my first? A rancid murmur in my ear that says we will call you a poet, not a traitor. I am a descendant of a family of multilingual folk who are synonymous to non-English speaking, who sent me to English school so I could be better than them. Because speaking English in India is status. English in India is, look, I have a verbal Mercedes. English in India is sucking up to the colonialists but forgetting they left a long time ago the first time I dated a white guy. I would sometimes let words from my native language slip into our texts out of reflex and he dismissed them as typos. What a beginning for a classically conditioned fear of words too brown for love. I've seen my accent curl around the edges in front of people who own this language. Every her becoming a her. Every thank you becoming a thank you. This is not conformity, this is surrender. How I cannot write this poem in anything but English so you would understand it. Is this burden of proof or already found guilty? Somewhere a generation of millennials is debating what language to call their first when they haven't spoken the other in years. They say we feel things in the language we speak. Think in the language we speak. So maybe my feelings are dual. Maybe my thoughts are dual too. Maybe I am in two parts and I can never be whole until I let go of one of my identities. Maybe America is 500,000 immigrants but 1 million identities. Maybe I am a Disney lost in translation. A Disney on display and two countries, no different versions of me. You don't get the best of both worlds when one world rules your other. Maybe I have just one world and the other drags along. Because darling, how can you keep the story when you change the theme song? We all know how the Jungle Book ended. Sometimes where you were born is not where you belong. When the syllables rolling off your tongue get tangled, be brave and shoot the bear behind you and wish with all of your heart that if we get one last prayer, God make it languageless. Make it meaning that does not tell words or worth. Because somewhere in La La Land, Emma Stone will say, my aunt used to live in Paris. I remember she used to come home and she would tell us, and it'll always be relevant what her aunt told her. When her words are spilled from a white carpet to red, and they'll give it laurels of golden-plated ladies looking like they're already defending themselves. Everybody's celebrating the movie and not the language of privilege it comes from. You know, maybe 50 years later, our kids will ask us, Mom, how do white people make themselves so big we all look small? How do they do it? And we'll tell them, kid, first you burn the whole world down. Bring it to its knees. Then pretend to put out the flames. Make fire extinguishing a profession. They'll call you prince, and they'll never remember who lit the fire.